Okay, I'm back. So the first step is you want to get the inequality into slope-intercept form. The second step is to graph the line like usual, which we'll talk about. And the third step is to determine if line should be dashed or solid. And the fourth step will be the shade. So what I'll do is I'll do the graph off to the right. And actually before that, let's erase that. Let's get this in slope-intercept form. So negative 2y is less than negative 5x minus 4. Divide by negative 2, but that has to flip. Very important flips. So it's 5 halves x plus 2. So step 1 is done. Okay, now step 2. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. So if I plot this, again, plot like you usually do. So you start at 2, up 5 over 2. So we graph like we usually do, but the line's going to have to be dashed. Because there's no equal, so obviously any point on the line won't be part of our solution. So that's why it's dashed and not solid. If it's solid, then any point on the line is part of the solution, we include it. But in this case it's not. So that's done. And that's done. Now the shading is going to be above. Greater than, go above line. Less than, go below line. And that's because y is isolated. If y is greater than, then you want all y values above it. If it's less than, you want all y values below it. That only makes sense. And remember, y is a vertical coordinate, so it's a matter of going up or down. Let's try one more. And then I think you guys should be able to do some practice problems on your own. So for example 2, let's graph y is less than or equal to negative 2 absolute of x minus 3 plus 4. Now today in class we actually did some board work in which we plotted absolute value functions. So the vertex is 3, 4, because remember that's h and that's k. So we plot that. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 4, and probably do a few more tick marks since that makes sense. So we plot 3, 4. Then what we do is, because of the negative 2, it's got to open down, and the 2 gets stretched by a factor 2. So at the next x coordinate over, we want to go down 2 over 1 on each side. So if you punch in 4 in the calculator and work it out, or 2, you get 2 as your next y value. And because it equals, we can make this solid. Then for the shading, less than or equal to, you want to go below. So in this case, going below the curve what that implies is that it's going to actually be inside in this case. That may not always be true. So you don't want to think of as less than being inside or greater than as outside or anything like that. Think of it as down or up. So because it's below, it works. Plus, if you were to test a point, like 3, 0, you'd see that this would work out. Because CS 3, 0 is in the shaded region. So that's another thing you could do as well, is always test points in the shaded region to see if it satisfies the inequality that you had from earlier on. So that's kind of how that works. It's kind of an extension of what we've done earlier, so it shouldn't be too bad. So there'll be some problems I'll assign, so check our agenda, and some questions I'd like to free to answer after the video. Okay, that's it. Have a good rest of the evening, and I'll see you during block 1 of this week.